I am so excited for this next guest. He is an amazing magician from Japan. I met him in China, and well, we'll tell the story of how we met and the crazy time we had over there. But he's one of these guys who when I met him, he was considered a young guy. He's an old fart now, like me, and amazingly skilled. And he's coming along with his friend Ben. It's the great, the wonderful Ponta the Smith, everybody. Boom, there he is, all the way from Japan.
Yes.
Where are you guys? Hi, Ben.
Hey, Dave. We're in Osaka.
Where?
Osaka.
Oh, you're in Osaka. Oh, great. Oh, wonderful. There used to be a really good magic bar in Osaka. There's probably several now. Is that right? There used to be a big one.
French Drop.
Was it the French Drop? This would have been 30 years ago.
30年前だったら。
多分もうない。
25.
If there was, it's not there anymore.
Okay. All right. Is the French Drop where you worked, Ponta?
昔、フレンチで働いてた。
まあ以前。
Yeah, in the past, yeah.
In the past, you used to work there, yeah. You also worked at a magic shop. Is that where you started in magic?
マジックショップでやり始めたか。
その前。まあ大学で。
So he started at university.
Ah, in university. What did you study in university?
物理、physics.
Physics?
Yeah.
Wow. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Your coin work is very scientific, I think. No, I don't think so. It's very artistic. So we met, what year did we meet in China? Do you remember? Was it 2011, 2013, something like this?
中で何年
In China with Mr. Lin.
40 days.
でも何年2000何年
ちょっと覚えてない。2013、14?
Yeah, 2013, 2014.
2013, something like that, yeah. There was Mr. Lin, who was formerly the head of the Chinese Acrobat Association, I believe, put together FISM in China in 2009. And after that, he started producing, along with Hank Morehouse, the magic dealer and convention organizer from the USA, they put together tours of close-up magicians to travel all over China. And I joined one of those tours, and Ponta was on the tour with me, and Mago Mige and Mark Oberon. Yes? Was it just us four?
Yes.
Mago Mige had his pianist. She was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a bit of an adventure, wasn't it, Ponta? Because we had a tragedy early on. Unfortunately, Hank Morehouse, opening night of the our Beijing opening night, he died backstage. It was tragic and sad, and almost put an end to the tour before we began. But it was decided that, and I know that Hank would have agreed with the decision, the show must go on. So we did this 40-day tour, was it? 6 weeks or some more, something like this. Amazing. Difficult.
Yeah.
Difficult, right?
Yeah, very difficult.
In China, everything is difficult. But it was, we did, I don't know how many theaters we did, maybe 20 different theaters, and they were all part of the same Poly theater group. These big, beautiful theaters. And on the outside, each one was different and unique. And they were in Shenzhen, and they were in Beijing, and we went to Inner Mongolia. We went all over China. Guangzhou, many, many cities. And inside, the theaters were an exact copy. We always knew where the stage was, where the dressing room, where the bathroom was. But outside, every theater was different design based on famous buildings from around the world. It was very unusual circumstance, but it was close-up magic for audiences of 1,500, 2,000, sometimes 3,000 people. Really crazy.
Dave, we almost met then, actually.
Where were you?
I was in Shanghai. I
Do you remember a French magician called JB?
Of course I know JB. Yes. He's
His,
nuts.
But he got thrown out of China for.
I know.
For
Well, they threw him out of France, and then he went to China, and then they threw him out of China.
Well, he said to me, "Oh, I'm going meeting this magician who's in town, and I had work that day." And then afterwards, he said, "Oh, it was David Williamson." I was like, "Shit." But,
Yeah, JB, I remember. That's right. He met us in Shanghai. Yeah, we had a good time. He's crazy in the best way. But Ponta, I don't want to dominate this talk here, but I have to say my impression of Ponta was this. Here's my impression. How old were you then? So that was
当時何歳？
当時30前半
yeah, he was early 30s.
early 30s. Yeah. Now he's a grand old man of magic, but then he was a young guy, and he had his DVD Sick, right, had come out, so everyone knew his work from video, how amazing it was. And I think you had gone to Portugal, yeah, to EMC, to Luis D'Amato's online convention, and I think that's where Hank Morehouse maybe saw you or heard about you and hired you. And so when we all got to Beijing or wherever our opening city was, Ponta spoke very little English. He probably speaks less now than he did then, because he learned a lot of English during that 6 weeks. But he said, demonstrator, magic demonstrator, not performer. This is what he said before the first performance. He was telling me and Migo Puga, Mago Mige, demonstrator only. Like, I work in a magic shop. I don't really perform for people, you know. And the first audiences, it was true. It was his head was down, and he did the magic very fast. And people were like, what the hell was that? They didn't know what was going on. And then, Mago Miguel and I took Ponta aside. We said, look, you're so good, but you're going so fast. If you take a little time and look at the camera first and smile and take your hat off and show them the coin first, and then that's all it took. We gave him a couple little small directions the first couple days, couple small directions. And all of a sudden, out from this shy little demonstrator blossomed this incredible dynamic performer who got more applause than anybody during the rest of the tour, because every day he worked really hard on his act. He changed one small thing, and he changed the music, and he moved, and he'd go like this, and his eyebrow would go up, and he'd point, and he'd smile, and he became charming and a performer. And by the end of this tour, we saw this shy magic shop demonstrator become this dynamic showman, and it was wonderful to watch you, Ponta. So, and I remember at the end of that, you were like, I want to be a professional performer, because you got a taste of what it was like to be on stage and get applause and get the audience on your side and fight for those moments. It was fantastic.
And then little by little, he's going to return.
It went away. Oh, now you're frozen. See, he was about to say something nice to me, and the screen froze. I'll wait. He's back. You're back.
Yeah, もう一回言って。
40日間毎日いろいろ教えてくれた。
So he said it was the result of you taking him aside and for 40 days basically teaching him.
Ah, well, it wasn't 40 days, but
ノートに全部書いた。
本当? So he said he made notes for 40 days.
yeah.
Every day he would write a lot of the stuff that he'd said.
Yeah.
これぐらいのやつだ。
So he's got he had a note of that.
Oh, is that right?
一生の宝物として大事に決まっておいて。
So he's treating it like an important document which he's hidden away.
Yeah, he can take it and put it right in the shredder. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, he says he's hidden it so well he can't find it. He doesn't know where it is.
Yeah, that's okay. Right in the garbage.
He wants another 40 days with you, Dave.
I do too. I want another 40 days with you as well. I had the best time. Ponta made it so much fun. His personality came out. halfway through the tour. And he became the jokester. He became the prankster. He made us laugh everywhere we went. It was wonderful. We had a wonderful time.
途中で性格が出てめっちゃ面白くて。
で、ノートなくしたけど、いっぱい超マッチいっぱい言われたのを覚えてる。それだけ覚えてる。
Oh, so he said even though he's lost his notebook, he still remembers a lot of the showmanship stuff that you told him about.
Ah, well, it was great. And Mago Mige was a big influence too. It was when you're helping another performer with their act, you learn a lot too. I learned a lot by watching Miguel work with you and with you working, just improving your act every day. It was a learning experience for all of us, I think. It was a really special time. It was a very unique time because of the emotional overtones of losing Hank early on. We bonded. We really did. All the performers came together to make this show happen and support each other. So it was a very special time, and I'm glad that Ponta was there. But anyway.
Yeah,
so he says that really was a big part of his development as a magician.
Yeah. Have you gone back to China for any of the other tours?
Lecture tour.
Lecture tour in China. Wonderful.
Yeah, with Kid.
Have you been back to the USA? Have you ever toured in the USA for lectures or performances?
I mean,
前後関係は IMX.
He's not sure whether it was before or after China, but he did EMX.
Where's that?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. IMX. Yeah. Nice. Good. Well, I hope you come back over. Someday. And I want to get back to Japan. It's been a long time since I've been there. But tell me, what's the magic scene like, you guys, in Japan? Now, Ben, how long have you been in Japan?
I think 10 years now.
10 years. And where are you from? Where's home?
Home is probably here.
You're homeless.
Originally London, and then I was in China for 7 years.
Okay.
And then in 2010 or 11, I moved out to Japan.
Wonderful. And you've always been a magician?
Professionally for the last 5 years.
Really?
I did a bit professionally in China, and then when I got to Japan, I was doing other stuff, and then got back, not Ponta at French Drop about 4 or 5 years ago, and that was that.
Okay. French Drop is the magic bar in.
It was the magic bar, and then about a year and a half ago, Ponta, me, and another magician, Takeshi, started our small magic company here.
That's right. You have a company called the Impossible Company, right?
Yeah.
TheImpossibleCo.com. And that you guys have some products that you're putting out. Not just t-shirts.
Not just t-shirts, no. I think this is the one day of the year that Ponta's not wearing the Impossible t-shirt. He only has one item of clothing.
He dressed up for me. He put a jacket on for me, and I wore a sweater for him.
The idea of the company is getting some of the best Japanese magic that usually, because of the language barrier, people in the West aren't going to be able to see, and making it accessible. And then the reverse, getting some great. We've got Woody Aragon, Pipo Villanueva, Mario Lopez, lots of foreign magicians who are doing stuff on our site, and Ponta translates it into Japanese.
I see. So you guys are a bit of a portal, aren't you, for a cultural exchange of what's the best in magic right now?
Exactly. Yeah, we were doing getting people over to do lectures as well, but obviously that's been put on ice.
Of course, yeah. Well, that's fantastic. So what's the magic scene like in Japan pre-COVID? A lot of young people coming into magic, I assume, yes?
軸のなんかちょっ
と止まってる、停滞してる。
Right now, it's definitely slowing down a bit. コロナの前は。
もうちょっと でとどまってた。
Yeah, so Pontas then, even before Corona, it's slightly on the decline.
Ah, really?
Boom.
Interesting.
ブームは2000年、3年後ね、3、4、5。
まあ、めっちゃテレビで。
So in about 2003, 2004 was where the huge magic boom in Japan started. There was virtually every week on TV, there'd be a big magic special. Loads of magicians were getting out there, primetime TV. So you had a lot of people getting interested in magic. Nowadays, the television in general is declining, but there's not so much magic on TV.
I see.
Anyway.
So it had its day, it had its bump, and it's just kind of correcting now a little bit. Yeah. Well, magic does that in the popular culture in different countries at different times. There's a rise and fall depending on, what's happening culturally. Well, that's cool. Ponta, I know you have some coins nearby. I want this. This is a new idea, this show that I'm doing for Penguin Magic. And the idea is just to talk to magicians. And I don't want it to be a podcast. It's a visual medium. I want to do magic and talk tricks. And is there anything you can show us? And then if there's anything you want to share as well, teach me something maybe. What do you got?
これもまあ普通。
But if instead you're turning the coin,
これで
Then it's motivating.
then it's motivating. Yeah, you're not